Hey guys, today we'll be making �ԱnPan, Japanese red bean bun, also known as Japan 54. So here are the ingredients needed. So firstly, heat a pot at medium-low heat and add in your red bean and plenty of water. Make sure that the water is 1 to 2 inches above the red beans. And let it boil. Once boiling, turn off the heat and drain off the water. After draining, fill the pot with plenty of water again. After filling up the pot, let it boil for 1.5 hours. During the cooking process, the water will evaporate, so add in more water as you go. So to check whether the red bean is ready, pick a bean up and try smashing it. If it's too hard, the red bean is not ready yet. If you can smash it easily, the red bean is done. Turn off the heat and drain off the excess moisture. Once drained, heat the pot at medium heat and add in sugar. Stir in the sugar to mix well. After mixing in the sugar, it's time to add in the salt. During this process, make sure to stir continuously. Once the moisture in the pot gets lesser, continue to stir well. But this time, stir and mash the bean continuously. Turn off the heat when you no longer see any moisture when you stir the beans. Now it's done. Place it in a large bowl to cool it off. I separated the paste into two, one for the red bean buns and another for the other recipes. It's time to make the bread dough. Firstly, add in your sugar, salt and yeast into your flour mixture. And mix well to combine. After mixing, add in the egg and the warm water with warm milk and mix well to combine into a dough-like texture. If your bowl is too small, you can always flour out your surface and knead the dough. For this bread dough recipe, you have to do a technique called punching. It's to punch the dough out and smash it against the table and rolling it back. Once the dough has come together, it's time to add in your butter. Place the butter in the center and knead the dough. This process will be messy as you're incorporating the butter into your flour mixture, so use a scraper to scrape off the excess butter on your working surface. You will have to knead your dough for around 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, do the window pan test. This is to check whether the gluten is well developed. If the dough doesn't stretch well during the window pan test, continue to knead the dough and punch the dough. After kneading the dough for 2 minutes, it's time to do another window pan test. This time, it stretched well, so it's time to proof the dough. Make sure to grease a bowl with melted butter and also greasing the top of the dough, and then cover it with a damp towel and let it ferment for at least 1 hour. After 1 hour, your dough will be looking like this, doubled in size. So poke the air out and it's time to cut out the dough. Firstly, fold the dough into a ball and use your hand to flatten it again. After flattening the dough, use your scraper and cut the dough into 8 equal pieces. If you want to make sure your dough is equally in size, you can weigh them like what I am doing right now. So make sure to make them into balls as you're gonna proof them for another 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it's time to fill them up with red bean paste. So firstly, flatten the dough out and scoop 1 tablespoon of red bean paste into the middle of the dough and folding the edges of the dough up into a ball. Make sure to tighten the edges so that no red bean paste will flow out during baking. And repeat the process with the remaining dough or until all the red bean paste is used up. After all the dough is filled with red bean paste, proof them for another 15 minutes and it's time to preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius. After proofing them for another 15 minutes, make sure they are equally apart and it's time to brush them with egg wash. To top the buns off with sesame seed, you can use the end of a rolling pin, dip it in egg wash and then the sesame seed and stamp the rolling pin onto the buns. Repeat the process with the remaining buns. After stamping all your buns, it's time to bake. Bake the buns at 200 degrees Celsius for 13 to 15 minutes. Or until they create a golden brown exterior. And it's done. Make sure to serve it while it's hot because red bean buns taste nicer when they are hot. And hopefully I made all the Yakitate Japan fans out there proud. Don't they look similar? So this is the final product. Do remember to try this recipe out as it's very yummy and fluffy. So if you like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos like this. Anyways, sayonara.